is that after making a mistake, we need to face up to it. We need to tell the truth. That is integrity, telling the truth and honoring promises no matter the consequences.
They call me a god. 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 Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way. I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. They call me a god. 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 I don't know how to stop. I just go till I drop. Whether it's working or shots, give it all that I got. You can watch me work in my element. Anyone in the way is irrelevant. Wanna cross me, cool, not intelligent. Cause I don't forget shit like an elephant. Go ahead and tempt me. Put it on the line and you'll come up empty. If I got time, I'm deadly. Never caught off guard, no, I'm always ready. I got a hand real steady. Look me in the eye and you'll see no hezzy. About to get real messy. I'll put you in a grave 6 feet like Kenny. Call me a god. Call me a god. Call me a god.
I'm called of God. Called of God. And Tim Ballard told me he'd been called of God. Some wild-eyed prophet like...
Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you.
What's up, everybody? How's it going today? Are y'all ready to dig into some Chad Daybell hind end again? He's been getting a steady ass chewing for since 2019. A much deserved one too. Okay. Oh, there's my other one. All right. Okay. It's so good to see you guys here. Speaking of seeing, hey, let's see, start cam. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. I'll never figure this machine out, right? And all the things. So, ears red, blood pressure's up. I'm hot. Also, anyway, that's what you need to know about me. What's up with the lights? We be ready? All right. Hey, Rombo. Hey, Trace. Hey, A. Aguilar. Door Pinion. So good to see you. Hey, Donna. A little bit. Good to see you here a little bit. So good to see you here. Y'all, my head's about to explode with, there has been a lot of like little, whoa, I just saw like dust or something fly right there. There's been like a little movement a little bit everywhere with Ruby Frankie and Jody Hildebrandt, that case with Tim Ballard and the freaking psychic saying what the hell she did. Oh my God. I'm triggered off of her. Holy crap. Janet Russen. I ran across her not her podcast, but a podcast that she did with this channel. The name of the channel is the last dispensation. And then Paul, oh my gosh, I have something in my eye. Okay. It's still there. Okay, hold on. I'm going to turn the camera off for a second. Okay. Oh my goodness. I don't know what it is. It feels light, whatever it is. Anyways, yeah, it's so this I don't know how to take that off, Donna. I can't take that off. Oh yes, I can. Oh yeah, I could. Okay, I'm sorry. I was like, it usually doesn't let me. So there's that. um Yeah, the Ruby stuff is god awful. It's horrible. Y'all, whenever so I like slept so solid and long. I needed it, obviously. I feel like I need it again after that. I apologize about my eye, all my little quirks and shit. Anyways, so whenever I woke up, you know, half the damn day was gone because I'm pretty much reverse of everybody. I'm just now getting my day started, pretty much. Hey, Jody. Hey, Sha. I have mascara all over my finger. Anyways, so yeah, got up and I was like, oh crap, you know. I saw that Jordan and McKay were on with Natalie Lawyer Chick. Me and Jen appeared on her show a long time ago when Mark Means was still on the case. That cup just happens to say Ryan. And anyway, so trying to think. I can hear that TV. Okay, I need to focus. Oh, so I woke up and I saw that Jordan McKay, Natalie Lawyer Chick, and there were a lot of people in chat, and I was like, oh crap. And so they were reading through the court hearing, I guess, but I didn't know. I hadn't seen the court hearing at that time still. And then, so I left midstream there, and I saw that Lauren had uploaded a couple hours before. And anyway, so it was like a 17 or 20-minute video that she did. So we watched it with her. And when she got to the duct tape and pretty much hog tying the little boy, I mean, I just started crying. Oh my God, you know. This is just hard not to. I mean, I had to pause. And I mean, I have been like this ever since my uncle was murdered and then the kids were missing, Tylee and JJ. I've just been whole assed. I don't care what it is. I don't care. I have to see it. I have to know it before anybody else can sucker punch me with that. You try my thing. I say you try, but I guess my way of coping and dealing is, hey, Shanty Bell. Hey, just me. My way of dealing with everything is to try to inform myself before I get informed, unannounced. Because I got enough blows. I can't speak for anybody else, but that seems how it happened with Lori, is she would just deliver the blows. It was a blow after blow after blow. And it just wasn't right. It was so traumatizing. It still is. It still is. Out there in the burning sun. And it sounded exactly like what Jesse Hildebrandt explained to us months ago. And I was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. And y'all, that's not even the worst of it. I feel, do y'all feel like she just did it in that little window of time? Oh, just from May to whenever. Lying ass. She's lucky she's in purgatory. I'd be taking these out, not putting them in. Right. suckered punches. Is that how I'm supposed to say it? Sucker punches. Sucker punched. I used to be, that was my favorite subject, was English and literature and spelling. Now I'm like, I don't even know how to put a sentence together. I'm like, wait, what? Anyways, high duty calls. I need to know, do people rather cult members give up their will to think and common decency to join this religion? I don't know. I mean, I think that's in all of them, you know. I really do. I really do. I think it's in all of the religions, all of the things, anything that makes you, that does the thinking for you, doesn't really, they restrict you from having outside sources, you know, that, like whenever the missionaries go on a mission, their phones, they can't call home just any old time. And hey, duty calls. They can't just be adults, but yet be adults, be putting them in some really extreme and dangerous conditions. They have to go knock on strangers' doors and proselytize, and for a church that would do this in a heartbeat, then they have to pay the missionary, the missionary's parents. They have to pay to go. Multi-billion-dollar corporation, church-ish. Dabble in Jesus, a little dabble in Jesus, you know, just to control peoples and stuff. Anyways, I'm on a rant today, so buckle up, Buttercup. It's money, right? Money, power, sex. That's what this case is about. That's what they're all about. Except, and it's so hypocritical to me whenever the church comes out with statements like, if you follow false prophets or whatever that bullshit is, it's bullshit, because they do the same thing. They're like, no, 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 we want you to pay your money here, honey. Don't be listening to all them damn, they doing priestcraft, the witchcraft and bullshit. Y'all know I'm gonna do it. Where's my little dude?
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Shit. He's so cute. A bullshit. We said it. You heard it here first. You won't hear it here last. Season's greetings to you too, Sue. Good. Rant girl, you're due. I've been doing this for like 4 years. When's the rant gonna be over? I'm just getting primed up though. That's the bad thing. Oh yeah, she was abusive long before Jody came around. I agree. I and vice versa. I agree. I believe, in my opinion, that Jody Hildebrandt, there's history there. And that's something Jason, my fiance, told me. He was like, well, he said it'll help Jesse's case. And I was like, oh yeah. I thought that they had picked their case up to solidify and to kind of help them build their case against Ruby and Jody. But I mean, it still will. Still, you know, she goes to court, what, December 29th, I think? I did make a calendar of all of their dates. I have Jody, Ruby, Lori, Chad, Lori, Chad, Lori, Chad, Lori, Chad. And so I just need to, I think I had to do a few more things. When KJ was talking yesterday, after I watched all the things, and then I had, you know, I had to catch up on KJ. And so as she was speaking them, I was writing them down. I was texting, you know, entering them into my phone. And y'all know I I don't adhere to time or dates. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Thank you also. Thank you very much. You have a beautiful picture profile. He's so pretty. Yeah, and buy your underwear. Buy them here too, and pay for your temple recommend. You are going to pay for me to tell you you're not good enough or you're good enough. And it might be just right. It's all conditional anyways. And that's exactly the way, it's the same behavior that you see with Lori, with Chad, with Jody, with Ruby, with Tim with all of Tim's verse, and Tim Ballard verse. I had ran across an article that it just didn't catch my eye the first time. It was one that Lynn Packer had written on American Crime Journal. Okay. And so it was like, it was an older one, but I ran across it, read it again. And he said he coined it. He was like, it's the Ballard verse. And I was like, oh, that has a little ring to it. And I was calling it the Metav Verse, And I'm using what Lynn Packer, the investigative journalist who put in some hard ass work and bucked the system when everybody else was bucking him, still bucking him, because he's a truth teller, because he don't bullshit, right? He don't buy the bullshit. And I just wish the world was had more of Lynn Packer around, And I don't know. Whatever his reasons are, hey, I have my reasons to do what I'm doing. Whatever drives him, whatever drives you, as long as it's not like, you're going to be some freaking psychopath or something, let us know, please, in the comments down below. Right. But before you do, hit like, subscribe. Just kidding. Y'all, and all the big, like, news media, all that stuff, they have, I'm going to do a Tim. Infiltrate. I don't even know how he does it. It pisses me off how he says infiltrate. Infiltrate? I'm like, what? Infiltrate. Anyways. Okay. Trace, I don't know how you do it, hon. I really don't. Oh. And God bless you, those who work with abused children. God bless you. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, y'all don't get enough praise. I can't. I mean, this is enough, I just saw with when I learned about what Ruby pled guilty to. She's not been sentenced yet, but she's confessed ish. Not enough. But whenever I heard the details of, oh my God, I pictured JJ and Tylee, and I was just like, oh, and I cried. I had to pause it. I had to like get myself together again. Self-care. We have to do that. I've not had to do that yet till that. And I was like, oh, okay, it's happening. And so Jason too, we had to get it together. And we listened to the rest of it. And then, I've caught up on all the other shows. What the hell is going on with my nose? It's like there was a hair tickling it or something. It's Mercury retrograde. She pled so she didn't have to have everything exposed. And I firmly believe, and I mean, this is just my speculation. This is just me as a human being for 45 years on this planet with my eyes somewhat open, more now than then. I feel I've seen the way that Ruby's sisters have responded, how the family has responded, how all these families seem to be going on missions, all late in life and stuff. And right when the shit hits the fan and, they're all in Siberia and shit. And you're like, what? Get your ass over here. That girl just, one of the sisters was like, my mom had a heart attack. She done caused my mom to have a heart attack. And I mean, God bless her, like don't wish anything bad on anybody ever. Okay. But, then why go on to a trip to Siberia? None of this stuff makes sense. None of the things make sense. The logic is weird. I feel like there is abuse, maybe allegedly. I'm just, again, speculating. Patterns of behavior, there's got to be somebody who abused them, or her, at least Ruby, in their family somewhere, or it's a friend, you know what I mean, in the childhood. And for sure Jody, y'all. And that brings me, I got so much to tell y'all. Oh my God, I have so much to tell y'all. Let me pull my little let me stop scratching my damn nose. I can't. It's weird. All right, let me do. Okay, let me present share screen, and I have like a little. Actually, that's what I'm gonna do. Let me go find that first. So hold on, please. Excuse me. Okay, so I just kind of jotted down a few things. Janet Russen was on the YouTube channel. The Last Dispensation with Troy Abels is his real. That's the name he put up on his thing. But it was The Last Dispensation is this YouTube channel. I cannot. My eyes are back there because I rolled them so hard. They've not come back yet, and I need to reel them in. This is like the epitome. Like this totally. I understand why these women and why victims don't really feel great, just going and ringing that bell. It takes a bad ass person, and I mean that in a good way. It takes somebody with some kajangas to blow that whistle. I mean, because the society is all jacked up and we victim blame, and it's wrong. And it's so wrong. And it's like it adds insult to injury. But you know what? You see the same like-minded behavior patterns repeat. I know we're supposed to be talking about Chad, but we are in a roundabout way. It's the verse. It's the metaverse. But there was mention of Chad Daybell in her talk, Tom Harrison, Lori, raccoons, victim blaming and rattling off baseless figures from what Janet is claiming. She just was doing like her own little guesstimates and stuff, and she's just like, those women, who filed the lawsuits against Tim Ballard and OUR and her and her. Why she is speaking out is beyond me, but we are here for it. We are here for that. That's something that they cannot help. They can't help but run their damn mouths. That's how we've learned so much in Lori and Chad's case, right? They love to bump the gums. Thank you. It's infuriating. You can't understand the audacity of these people, but she ignited that fire under my ass, because that I kind of lost that about Jason Mao and Melanie Zalema, all the Serena Sharp, Christina Atwood, Nicole Earl, Jackie Clement, Audrey Baratero. I ain't forgot. And we need to say their names more, because notice they didn't mention them they didn't mention those ladies' names in Lori's trial. I find that interesting as all get out. Just saying. They don't just get to turn her, you know what I mean? Like who gets to do that? Who gets to just be like, well, yeah, I don't feel like doing that today. That was so last week. And, I got Botox to get, and I got to go pick up my kids, and, I have nannies and whatever. But what character was I? No, bitch. I'm sorry. I said it. It just, told y'all I'm feeling very ranty today. I guess I'm very hood. But anyway, so she was victim blaming Janet Russen, the psychic. She was basically saying that the women were suing Tim because they were all on board with the couples ruse. Even produced a video of one of the victims talking about the couples ruse. Interesting. And she said that all the women want is money, and she's like, I'm just figuring this out. She was like, it's about $5 million each is what they're asking for. She's like, I'm just guessing. And then she was like, or however much. And she was like, that'll be like 5 million each. And she says all this stuff. She totally turns it around and she says that the kids, traffic kids. Oh my God, I'm stuttering. It pisses me off. I was going to start the damn live with her bumping her gums, but I was like, well, let me talk to him first. Let me gather myself. So she basically she pulled a Tim and a Lori and a Chad and everybody that we've seen that is on the receiving, because they dished it out, but they can't take it. And she said that it was the women's fault that no kids were being rescued. And I was just like, that is effing gross. It is. It's gross, egregious. Word of the week, right? Pass it along. But it just was gross and it bothers me big time. So I'm going to go and grab at that because I do want y'all to see it. I thought I made a, sorry, I just saw an alert and I was like, what? Let's see here. Okay. Hold on. Oh, okay. I can search. Well, that didn't help. Okay. Okay, now it brought me to this one. Okay. So don't use this little thing. Ah, shit. Sorry, this one played as soon as I opened the damn window. That's rude. You know what I'm saying? Good God. So I know y'all couldn't hear it, so I've looked silly. Even more. Okay. All right. Let me get it queued up. I'll show you the one that Hidden True Crime made. They broke it down into like 6 minutes. All right, hold on. Okay, get ready and clutch your pearls because she's gonna piss you off too. I just know it. That's how we roll. Okay. Yeah.
It's a big stretch, and they're trying to connect. They're trying to make things like the Daybells or other oddities stick. They're trying to make it stick
Oddities.
to
I'm
this,
gonna whip
and
her
the
ass.
two have no association. I do want to say that Tom Harrison is a good friend and a dear person, and we love him and support him. And he wrote a beautiful book, Visions of Glory.
And whether we agree with that book or not, or read it, haven't read, Tim's and Janet's.
Let me know your thoughts. I mean, really, write you a little tally up some notes. We need to share them because this pisses me off so bad. I'm gonna have to mute myself because I can't. It's knee jerk.
Religious beliefs, or there are many different kinds of Latter-day Saints in the church. What I mean is, we don't all believe perfectly theologically together. That doesn't mean we don't answer the temple recommend questions correctly altogether, because most of us do. You go to the temple, but some of us have like interests in near-death experiences more than others. That's not something that they would read.
His
but
microphone cuts out.
Yeah.
That's on
Visions
his
of Glory
end.
isn't like
Just
a
so you know.
horrible book.
No.
But go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say to what you're saying, some have had a near-death experience. My son had a near-death experience. You touched on my son before. You didn't say my son, but our death in the family that you referred to is my son, my beautiful, beautiful boy, Michael, who passed away at 18. And he had a near-death experience the night before his 18th birthday, and then he passed. That was in February, and then he passed in April. So people have near-death experiences, and maybe And so then they're more attracted to those, just like you're saying, or they are interested in family history. It's like anything that someone has a particular interest in or attraction to.
Right.
It's wrong.
Right. Exactly. And you've got people like John Dehlin making these weird connections. You have Radio Free Mormon. Some of you don't know who these people are. That's the name of the podcast. They talk about you guys endlessly. They connect you with the Frankie, Ruby Frank.
Oh. Wait a minute. I know who you mean. Down in southern Utah. The mom?
Yeah, the Frankie case. I don't know if it's Frankie or Frank.
Yeah.
And the Hildebrandt. The name of this couple that does the hidden true crime. Lauren Matthias and Dr. John Matthias make all these substantiated connections that are ridiculous. Like you don't even know these people. And they're just, I don't know. That's like, let's just group anybody together because they're Latter-day Saints. Or more importantly, for those of you who have followed a lot of this and know who these people are, these other podcasters, what they do is they connect this Visions of Glory book. And because Jody Hildebrandt and Chad Daybell read the book, know of it, like it, and even spoke at some of the same conferences that Tim had. Tim even mentioned his good friendship with one or a couple of them before they went and killed people and did some horrible things in the name of weirdness. Now, I know personally some people that have read Tom Harrison's book. I haven't read it. I have no desire to read it. And I don't particularly think that it has anything to do with my salvation. And I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I guarantee you that most people don't know of that book who are active members of the church and don't go to a lot of these conferences. Now, I do believe wholeheartedly in the freedom to believe in what you want as long as you don't hurt other people. Now, I honestly know, and Janet knows, that they don't associate with people that hurt children and other people like some of these people did. They don't believe in starving your children like Jody Hildebrandt and Ruby Frank did. And I don't even know much about the stories, but I'm telling you, you can't connect the causation and correlation principle because somebody knew somebody at a conference and maybe were friends with them before they committed heinous crimes and went crazy. So that's how the Matthiases, that's how John Dehlin, and that's how these other podcasters, such as this Jordan and McKay couple, who looked so happy when they had the light of Christ and the Holy Ghost. I look at a lot of these people. Now, I don't agree. I can be friends with people and not agree with their religious beliefs, or some of them. Even some members of the church have what I call religious hobbies. I don't believe in them, but they're good people. All right. I don't go there. I have different ideas about what the gospel of Jesus Christ means. And most of what I believe is mainstream. And I mean mainstream in the sense of what I think is what the brethren want me to do. On a couple of my podcasts, I mentioned a reporter named Adam Herbett. He is with Adam Herbett is with Fox 13 News, and he has a vendetta, obviously a vendetta against him and yourself and everyone that's involved in the lawsuit. Want to explain what you have to say about that, about him?
Sure. So his latest Fox 13 piece, he shared a timeline, and I can address a few of those points. I'm not going to address all the points on the timeline, but I'll address the ones pertaining to this situation, because he's talking about Sean Reyes, who, by the way, I just want to say is a lovely person, and he was a great supporter of OUR and went on some operations, and just a good man. So.
Okay. Right? I need to do a reaction video just to that shit because it's some bullshit. Y'all. I mean, and there's 2 hours of this. 2 hours and 8 minutes, I want to say. I was like, no, you didn't.
And it's just
See, this one I fell asleep to the night before, and they were talking a lot of Spanish. Oh hell!
And it's
and then, yeah, This is the one.
So the burner phones are dirtied up. They
Jesus,
have,
Will,
you know,
our lawyers are-
you would
I'd shut
ground
her the
your
hell up.
child for life for the.
Let me skip any kind of music. Oh wait, I have some timestamps.
I came across Troy and considered it very serendipitous. You could say it was a blessing.
So this guy is saying all that shit. Who's got a freaking psychic? This psychic, not any psychic. Where's Where's the baby? What'd your son die of? How come your son, we can, memorialize him, but we cannot even acknowledge the fact that your line of believing and thinking is deadly. Oh, I said the B word in my head. Oh, God. Triggers the shit out of me. Okay, 5523. Let's see. It just says he met Tim. Oh, he did. This guy. So, I mean, they have agendas here, of course.
I said, can I? And it was actually dangerous in a different way than we had anticipated, which can happen on an operation, relating that to the logistics and the outcomes for these women.
Of none.
But not to negate anything they're saying.
But here,
saying from
this is the passive aggressiveness that I see over and over again. Yeah, I'm not trying to discredit or belittle or make them feel small, these victims, alleged victims. We can even say that. But you don't get to do this and in a passive aggressive way, say it anyways. Oh, I pushed J. I don't know why.
The logistics and the outcomes for these women. But not to negate anything they're saying, just saying from my own experience. So I went on this trip.
Hey, y'all, Melanie Gibb borrowed one of her hats when she went to the trial in Boise. She straight up had one of them hats on. And she was in disguise. And I take great satisfaction knowing that hooker, she can do all what she wants, Melanie Gibb, when she goes to Chad's. Because cameras are there, boo. We're there for it.
And
sorry,
we were in a dangerous area. We were about to go to a more dangerous, unknown situation. And I half jokingly
a bigger
said
strip club
to Tim, can I go home?
Wait, it was more dangerous because Tim was driving drunk?
And he said, you want to go home? And this is typical of his demeanor. You want to go home? I said, can I? And he said,
crackhead.
Because, we weren't sleeping. We're eating granola bars all the time, protein bars, protein drinks. And I said,
psychs up the freaking psychedelics and, shit.
I said, yeah. And he goes, yeah, you can go home. And he's like looking around for
this is for pity. This is for emotions. This is
get
to evoke
me
that
arranged so that I can go home. And I said, just kidding.
Why not the picture I have of Tim going like, this is to evoke emotion.
Of course the conversation happened fast. I said, just kidding. No, I'll say. And he goes, well, if you need to go home, if you want to go home, why do you want to go home? And that's how he is. He'll ask and ask and ask and ask and just make sure that you're okay.
Amen.
So no one's forced
She just
to
got
stay.
filler or something. I ain't never had it, but
well, and the reason I brought that up is to mention that because you've mentioned that several times,
Janet,
is that he's a team player.
Don't hex me.
And he is
bitch.
I almost felt like I knew him before I even met him. And you even called when you emailed me, you're like, you're getting all of this right, Troy. And I'm like,
says the psychic who hasn't found the kid. I'm sorry, the informant or sidekick, whatever. All right, I just wanted to prove that point. 108.53. Oh, well, here's this too. This is one of the women that you see in the. Is it okay if I play that? I mean, I'm not trying to exploit her. I want to expose them. I'm only doing it because of the interviews they came out with the conference. The victims, the alleged victims of Tim Ballard and friends.
Let's watch this video of Celeste and then talk about the the texts and how they contradict each other.
Oh yeah, please.
Okay.
All right, let's do that right now.
And
Sure.
miracles happen on every single op. And every op that I haven't been on, because they've done so many, I think about the miracles I've heard of and I've seen. And it's like Jesus is helping every single op that I've never been scared. I've never been afraid. And I don't know what it is, but when I've gone in, I'm nervous going up until the op.
Yeah.
But he just takes care. He just takes care. And so I don't even know how to answer that.
I can tell you,
question.
she's been in some crazy places. Like
Okay.
you've walked into some of the darkest like hotels in the worst parts of Mexico.
Yeah.
Like I've watched you go in, and you are completely calm, and the girls love them. And this is why the females can always connect with the female recruiters and the children so much. But the kids want to talk to me or another dude. They see her and they're like, hi.
Yeah.
And the women love to talk to her because they're like, oh, you're also abandoning all things woman,
Right.
Yeah.
all things mother.
Yep.
I'll talk to you. And so that she gets all this intel that I could never get. I got a question for you.
Great.
Have you ever heard a case, because you have an ability like few others, you actually compartmentalize well and come back to normalcy pretty well, better than I do.
Well, thank you.
Do you know
I
of
don't
cases, have you seen cases working with others where like the female operators go in and they can't get out of role?
Yes. Yes.
What's an example without naming names or anything?
Oh, well, they become emotionally attached. And so like on the op or come during, prep of the op. And so when you're on operations, you have to get into the role of connecting with you're already connecting with people on a whole nother level because you're experiencing things you don't experience on a daily life. So it is a crazy world. So, and then you throw into what role you're being in, whether you're a couple or whatever it is, whatever operation you're doing, whatever you need to be doing to get the kids out. So there's a whole mindset of situations that you got to compartmentalize in. So when you go back to life, it can really screw up your mind. And so if you're not ready, if you're not trained or ready for it, it can really screw it up. And then you have a lot of problems. You get,
Yeah.
Like what? What problem?
Ruining a whole operation and organization and teams in itself. I don't know.
So like people come back.
People come back and
they're like, I thought we're really in love. I thought it was real. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, they're too attached. They get too emotionally attached. Then you go on the operation, it's intensified so much more. And then by the time you get home, you have to go back to real life because if the op is done, or you go back to real life anyway, and the op is on pause until you go back out again.
Right.
And so you have that compartmentalizing. That's here.
Yeah.
But it has to get done because these kids need to be saved.
Say this. She's worked. I'm just picturing. All the cases I know. She's been on multiple continents. She actually helped to infiltrate a case. I won't get too many details, but say a little bit about this. But she helped to infiltrate an operation or a trafficking organization that's trafficking North Korean children through Europe, Mexico, and into Los Angeles.
I couldn't believe how one survivor was able to open up to how much we were able to find just from her. Yeah. And it's such a great case that I've never heard or seen him break down, but he had to walk out of the room 3 different times because he had to walk out of the room because I kept looking over at him and I'm like, okay, he needs to start laughing because his tears coming down, those are tears of, he lost it 3 times. Yeah. Because it was with so
with that wig,
with his wig,
and I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and
I'm like in the bathroom, just like,
and it just
I can't believe the story.
Because this girl, we think she was, how old do you think she was
like 13
or 14, and she said, she spoke she was from North Korea, but she was so confused on so many things because she was trafficked at such a young age, but she didn't remember so many things before. And so, but she was so innocent inside. Well, they're so innocent anyways, but they get so many things stripped from them. Right. She's trafficked from like 6 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. And I just sit there and I think, oh my gosh, like, I couldn't even imagine. And so, but every time we go to where we need to go to see her, we call her agency and we buy her for the day. And when she knows who we are, and we as she sees us, she runs to us because she knows when it's us. Right. She has those 24 hours to just sleep and relax and to eat. And we didn't want to leave. And the first time we were there, I was there anyway. I met her and I looked at Tim and I wanted to just go with her. And I was this close. And I
had to pull her back. I'll just go with her and just be with her.
So I have this ability, I think, to be able to connect with people. So I'm like, let me just go. Let me just go, because whoever she's living with, I'll be able to find out something. But you actually got super mad when I implied. He's like, we push it to be able to make things happen, but that's pushing it way too far. I'm like, I'll be able to sneak out if I need to, but let me just go to her apartment. But we found out a lot on that trip.
No, this is going to be a huge case.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of it right now, but it's big. But I'll tell you, if I didn't have a female partner with me, I couldn't do any of this. First of all, she wouldn't talk to me like she can talk to her.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I just couldn't be there. If I was alone with her, just to manipulate the situation so I don't do what she thinks.
It's so true.
But she's like, oh no, that made sense to her, right?
Right.
I mean, it's absolutely impossible to do anything without a female operator.
Because even going into the place, I knew that everything that you just said, it's so true. I brought nothing to that op.
Thank you.
As far as I didn't have a specific role in mind going, except everything he just said. But we were there for about 48 hours total, and everything that I needed to do to be there, that if you were there on the bystander, just kind of watching around going, why is this random just sitting right,
Right.
But I was there protection of it's so true. I wish if I could get into details, I'd be like, that makes sense. Yeah. Meanwhile, me and Tim around the corner banging on the walls, making notes, and we're trying not to laugh with each other. We couldn't just show up and do, nothing, and so or act like
because then she knows we're cops,
exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, it's a crazy story. So I can't wait for it all to just unravel.
This video was made. This was part of a podcast. It's no longer available. It's someone else's podcast, and this video is talking about the couple's ruse and the efficacy of the couple's ruse. And how, when using that tactic, which is in an arsenal of many tactics, when using that tactic, it's effective. And that it really does rescue and find minors and other women. Because when you cast the net,
we'll get a damn patent on the thing.
You are sometimes going to find women who were minors, as Celeste is referring to.
Oh, it's showing the effectiveness of the couple's ruse and why we did it in the first place.
Further done.
Ding.
It's not because Tim wants to get close and cuddly with women.
God.
Right.
Right.
So,
gotcha.
So
okay, I get it.
I can't roll my eyes harder.
You go undercover, you see undercover, and disguised, like he's referencing. You get into role. You have a burner phone, which has conversations that are not real. These are in role acting. The whole thing is an act. And you go into these locations, whatever they are. There's many locations where children would be, where you may not expect them to be, where minors would be sold or trafficked as older children, or, older youth. Maybe they pass off a 16-year-old as an 18-year-old or a 14-year-old as a 16, 17-year-old, depending on the country. Younger is not.
So rape is okay.
Always illegal.
Just not kids.
Below 18 years old. So they go into these situations and it's effective. Like they found this North Korean girl. I want to tell you, I'm just not listening to this podcast. I know of this op because I was part of this operation all the way through.
Okay. Now, can you explain to me, because this is related. So the point of this video is to show, the main point of why this was given to me was to show
tell you, girl,
that this person, Celeste, who is now
she's about to tell us,
suing you guys.
Right. Yes.
Was all about it and had been on many operations.
Yes, she's been on
and understood that you have to act or you have to be so believable. Can you explain to me explain to the audience what people go through, what you
Uh,
guys go through, what these men are doing. They're doing Viagra, they're doing all the
why?
drugs. You guys have to have stuff on your burner
Why?
phones that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. Can you explain a little bit of
Gotta
all
have
that?
stuff on your burner phone.
Sure.
Okay.
And let me
Oh my God.
clarify. I've not done a couples ruse operation.
You're
I've
old.
done
That's
labor
why. You got an
trafficking
older ass.
Right.
operations, other ruses.
I have
So
Tourette's.
like I said, let's let everyone know this is one tactic in an arsenal of tactics, which really should never be revealed.
Check.
Okay.
Here-
So you have
Um,
other
I wish
ruses.
I had a drum roll.
Ruse
There are
isn't
other
just,
ruses.
it's not just isolated for couples. It's a ruse means we're going out to fool the bad guys.
Okay.
And it has nothing, other ruses have
I think it
nothing
was
to
more to
do
fool
with
itself.
posing as a couple or
It's technicalities.
being boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife, that kind of thing. In that way. But there are children that are in the depths, the
Of hell.
darkest depths of trafficking. And that particular tactic is used to rescue
Loud and
those
clear,
particular
girl.
children. Now that that tactic is burned and it's not used and it's been exposed, those particular children that are hidden in that particular way, where you can only find them if you go in as a couple, may likely never be rescued.
It's all the victim's faults.
In other words, this
wanna-
ups
wanna-
the opportunities of rescue maybe by 35% even sometimes. There are children in situations where if you didn't go in with a significant other
For
Right.
what?
or
That
a
makes
pretend
no
girlfriend,
sense.
Right.
you wouldn't be able to get these kids out.
What if you're single?
Right.
What if you're
Be
gay?
advised, brothers and sisters, this is a trigger warning.
Pow
I'm giving
pow,
you
right?
ample warning that the next few minutes is going to be
I need to cool my jet.
graphic
Oh, come on,
detail
drama.
of what goes on
Yes.
in the dark world.
Okay, yeah, drama.
Of
Always with y'all. That's all we get. Oh, here's my karma.
Amped up on drugs in order to participate
Oh,
in
I
these.
passed it. Damn it.
Men are amped up on drugs in order to participate in these kinds of sex acts.
You just said Viagra and shit. So.
There's usually drugs involved. Children are
Early.
often given drugs so that they can perform and not resist, so that they are sedated to a point.
I think a Hamblin case.
And so that they can still be participatory. I'm sorry to be, somewhat graphic, but this is beyond what most good people with their, good minds and hearts can imagine and sometimes comprehend. This is hard. This is harsh. And traffickers will present minors
and hard and
right in front of the operators, meaning the couple in the couple's ruse. They'll present minors or escorts, or that might be the first phase, and then they get intel from the escorts or from the girls that are presented to them. They get intel from them that there are children, and then another meeting, the children are presented. And when the children are presented, they don't just say, here's some children that we're going to sell you, and you're going to take them
money?
somewhere.
Not about
and
whether
have-
you're gonna
we
be-
won't see you and the kid anymore.
Correct.
It's
They-
like
that-
it's like a undercover narcotics officer, where he's like the bad guy's like, the dealer's like, let's do a line together, and they're cutting up the cocaine on the mirror. You're gonna do that here.
Am I frozen?
You do it. I want to see you do it, right?
They
Sorry,
were
interrupted you.
You're good.
I wanted to
That's-
show the similarities of
Right.
why this is so important to have a female be the distractor, right?
Right. But they are presenting this product. They are presenting this commodity that they're selling.
Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. I don't know what to do. Well, shit. It's just another damn day, huh?
Krisha,
Okay. Yeah.
I was going to say, I could pull it up maybe, and it wouldn't do that from mine. I don't know if it would or
I
not.
just, my computer, I couldn't push anything.
Okay, so it is. So,
For
okay.
like a hot minute. It's, I mean, still, I can't.
See, I wanted to tell you, I saw him, this Troy Abels guy, interview her maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they had a so-called like survivor on there who had been trafficked
Who
for
calls her
1
mom?
day.
Who calls her
Yeah,
mom?
And he's trying to find the other people who got saved that day that didn't really get saved.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I was like, oh, snap. Okay, go ahead.
So, anyways, it's very interesting. I have fought with this Troy Abels guy in the comments about other things on other occasions.
Okay, it let me out. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah. I'm sorry about that. Damn it. That's okay. I don't want to use too much of his stuff, but I do want to go back in because I want to find. I'm going to show you guys the raccoon comment, which I think is a racial slur. I think it's their way of saying dark. They're dark. Chad with Tylee. Again, I can't prove it. This is just speculation. I mean, uh-oh. Oh, crap. Well, what the hell? Okay, sorry. I had like every tab was opening. This is weird. Whatever. This isn't even the right one. Okay, hold on.
And
It's whatever.
So the burner phones are dirtied out.
Okay. So I go to 145-ish. 145-ish. Now, just know we're going to have some haters come, okay? All I'm doing is asking for it because that's what they like. They like the drama. That's what they are about. This, I'm going to deal with it today, and then I'm going to move on like I always do because they're not worth it, even though.
Then it'll be on their newsroom. So,
and I did
those
pull
are
that
a
article
few
up too.
points that.
Well, it was a
Adam
request for comment, which is not a statement, but we don't even have any proof that there was even a request for comment.
Yeah, and they're calling it, their words, the vernacular they're using is statement.
You know who else uses vernacular?
So they're saying there's not a church statement.
Right.
Or maybe they're mirroring, what people are saying.
In other words, they don't even know what yeah. Go ahead.
Yep. So that's that with Adam's newest piece.
Here we go.
And so he was kind of rummaging around your neighborhood. This reporter, he was in your neighborhood.
It's
going through garbage.
Well, either someone or a raccoon or something had been in the garbage, but we've never had raccoons in the garbage, in the trash. So
that's against the law. I don't know about your state, but that's against the law.
So I don't know.
Private property.
I'm just saying, to me, I think it's just like Chad was saying to Tammy that Tylee was dark.
So,
we had to get rid of her, burning them limbs and the limb debris and
raccoon or something was.
Sorry. We're going to look to it one more time with a little more context.
Yes. So there's no talking to the Book of Mormon deceased prophet Nephi, who's an author in the Book of Mormon. There's that's completely false.
You want me to play the audio of you?
Also, what Adam Herbert said on this timeline was tens of thousands of dollars were spent on a psychic speaking to the deceased
Two
prophet
hundred and
Nephi. I
some
just want to say
thousand
that's
dollars a
false.
month.
Emails
I
were
mean, a
wrongfully
year.
obtained, and the identity of Nephi was attributed to the Book of Mormon prophet and author Nephi. That was an erroneous assumption
What kind
made
of
by the district attorney and
shit?
stated as fact by the district attorney in documents that are now released, unsealed, and released to the public.
For you?
And then, of course, the 10,000 pages, which he never had in his possession.
Listen how technical.
Okay.
Nothing of mine was
Right.
ever in his possession. So that's another.
So
point.
are they going to go after him for all of that? What he's done?
No,
I don't know.
That's kind of criminal, isn't it?
it's petty.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
You.
Right.
So another point he made was, which is a little, I'm hitting these a little out of order of his timeline, but is that on September 15th, 2023, outlets reported that the LDS Church made a statement about Tim Ballard, not true. And we
Listen.
touched on that before. We spoke about that before. And I was saying anyone can call.
Sorry, we're just gonna rip through her ass today, okay? Just no Daybell trial watch.
And that I've called 5 times and I called today. And that is not a statement from the church.
So she just has the number. I guess the Curtin McConkie and beep boop boop, right? And she's just like, hey. I mean, how she knows she didn't call the Mormon prophet? I mean, that's what she called when she was doing her seance.
Right.
They're saying it's not a statement. And it's not on their newsroom, which they've said if there's a statement about anything from the church,
who gives a shit?
then it'll be on their newsroom. So
who cares?
So those are.
Do they hold your moral compass? Never mind. Never mind.
A few points that.
Well, it was a request for comment, which is not a statement.
Their word doesn't
But
mean shit.
we don't even have any proof that there was even a request for comment.
Here's your proof.
Yeah, and they're calling it. Their words, the vernacular they're using is statement. So they're saying there's not a church statement.
Right.
Which they did to save their own ass, because that's what they do. Time and time again. It's what they do. It's history repeating. It's like repeat.
Right, right.
Or
Gotcha.
maybe they're mirroring, what people are saying.
In other words, they don't even know what yeah. Go ahead.
Yep. So
Okay.
so that's that with Adam's newest piece.
And so he was kind of rummaging around your neighborhood, this reporter. He was in your neighborhood.
Yes.
Going through garbage?
Well, someone, either someone or a raccoon or something had been in the garbage.
Not a cat, not
but
a dog.
we've never had raccoons in
Fucking
the
raccoon.
garbage, in the trash.
A raccoon.
So
That's against the law. I don't know about
Yeah.
your
Who is
state, but that's against the law.
RAPEE in women.
So I
That's
don't
private
know
property.
And taking their money.
who
That's so
who that
Oh my
was.
God.
That's the guy that I call Wormy Worm videos because you could tell that he's got a vendetta. Like we said
He has a fucking job.
before, the women we don't believe were gathered,
And he's got a busy one in Utah.
were put together, or they weren't. They didn't do this
They didn't know
unilaterally.
to find each other.
They didn't call each other and go, "Hey, let's get an attorney." No, they were found. They were brought together.
This is the
This was a
victim we're talking about.
calculated effort to usurp Tim Ballard,
Bam.
regardless of what you think he might have did or didn't do.
I
And
don't give a shit. I'm not God. You aren't either. So I'm gonna chop your little stalk down so you can come back down to earth and go look at yourself in the mirror there, Troy. Go look at yourself in the mirror and just look at yourself and then repeat the words that you're saying. Just ignorantly, just spitting off, okay? Oh my God. I can't with these two.
3 days before he was going,
And he was, I think, in jail before, because I had caught this a long time ago when Tim Ballard shit first came out. And I watched one of his shows and I was like, oh, okay. Just you try to gauge where people are in their belief system. I mean, he's like, well, I can get along earlier in this thing. He was like, I can get along with people in the church if they have, a little bit different beliefs. And I'm like, it's humanity, asshole. There's all kinds of people, You know, there's all kinds of people. Your people don't make up all the population. Okay, you're just a little bitty drop in the little bitty Mormon bucket, and it's time to kick the bucket. Okay, not in a mean way. Just I don't know what I'm saying. Sometimes when I'm mad and it's stupid, but it's first off the way they degraded and belittled and minimized my family's murders, their deaths. I'm sick of it. I'm so fucking sick of it. I'm sick of I'm sick of this. It's gross. And you should be gonna, oh my God. You know, it's just not many things that just really get under my skin, but this gets under my skin. Everything, they're turning it and turning it. And you know, there's people that watch, you know, there are. How many views has this thing gotten? Unfortunately, this dude's got more subscribers than I do, as usual. 4,805 views, you know, 2 days. I'm sorry, 5 days. Still doing better than some of us. Yeah, so anyways, just it's like they're there just to twist it and twist it and twist it, manipulate. I don't know if they're doing it to manipulate or they're just this cuckoo in their thinking.
To announce his run for the Senate, it was leaked.
It's a fucking
and
conspiracy.
all hell broke. So
Get your microphone.
now, do you want to talk about the instability of a couple of these
now victim blaming?
women?
I mean, now they're going character assassinate. Launch monkeys.
You
now.
mean emotional?
Well, it's
instability?
important. I think it's important. Yeah, like maybe your conversation that you had with one of them about
it's not there's this group of women that are public, and I do want to emphasize again for those who may not have heard it before, there are more women who have gone on ops who are
supportive
in support of the operation of this tactic, this one of many tactics in the arsenal of tactics. There are more women that are in support than there are in this group that have come out and demanded money,
right,
and compensation.
You heard it here.
Let me say this. You asked me to talk about their emotional state. I can talk
Shame
about one
on y'all, man. Shame
who
on
I've
you.
had conversations with, or
I
two
don't
that I've
see
had
it.
conversations with. But can we talk about
Oh,
their
why is there a
demand
chat
first?
replay?
yeah,
Can we talk about the money?
Look,
yeah.
let's see
Well,
how
that's
many
important.
subscribers we get.
We need to
Yeah.
know why they're doing it.
So each of these women are asking for $5 million. So one couple is married, right? But they were filing for divorce.
So 10 million. We'll
just before this all happened, before this came out, before that, before Celeste and Mike joined the lawsuit, they were filing for divorce. So I know that to be true because I was on the phone with Celeste.
Comment right there. His comment, this dude Troy Abels right here, the last dispensation says, and I ain't going after channel. I'm going, this is bullshit, dude. I mean, just look at yourself in the mirror, talk it out first. If it sounds stupid, might want to reconfigure some things. I know I say stupid shit. Probably like right now. I'm probably going to regret this. Probably going to have to pull this down. Celeste says herself, people get attached. She got attached. She is disgruntled. Kate Barlow makes amazing whatever. So what about the other ones? What about the ones who are not going to come out because of people like you and your ignorant ass thinking? Nobody's ever a victim. You can't spell victim without Tim. You know?
When she had gone to the attorney.
That.
And so the idea that Tim has broken up 2 marriages, one being of a female that's not even on the lawsuit, and the other being Celeste and Mike, is simply not true. we all know in our married lives that it takes much, much more for a marriage to dissolve or be on the verge of dissolution than one
Right.
human being. We cannot blame Tim Ballard or anyone else for that sake for the dissolution of a relationship
We can.
that's between two individuals who live together
We can.
and have, in this
He
case,
broke
have
it
had
up.
children together.
Right.
That is Tim is not the straw that broke the camel's back.
No.
They break the back
And
themselves.
I'll even say this again because I've said it on my other videos, and I'm not going to just not say it now.
He's screaming it here.
You don't.
Celeste was woman scorned. She missed the ruse. She got too attached. Eric is out for Eric. I don't trust him. I don't either. So we got that. But I think I remember seeing one of his shows before when all the Tim Ballard stuff first came out. I was trying to watch everything I could, and get different perspectives. That's the way I go. And I remember him saying in that live stream that he had been in prison before. I don't think he's in Utah. I don't remember. I'm not saying judge him, or never judge anybody like that. People go to jail. I've been in jail. Okay. It happens. Answer your, oh hell, I always forget what it's called. Contempt of court. I didn't show up for court 3 times. And that's a no-no. And I will never do it again. I will never not do it. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying he's very ignorant, in my opinion. He speaks very ignorantly.
Don't believe done anything wrong.
Look right here. People that have never been undercover do not understand that you have to act good, not for an Oscar, but for your life. What logic is this? Then hire actresses. Don't hire Utah moms and psychics and shit. Okay? Don't be calling up dead prophet, because we know you did. We know you did. We see right through you. We're visionaries too.
I don't either, but like I said, I don't know for sure. But my beef with Tim is not, well, I don't have a beef with Tim. My beef wouldn't be, did you commit adultery or did you have sexual relations with somebody and it was consensual? And because that's between him, said it before, and his wife and his bishop and whoever else was in, and that's between her and her husband.
Yeah, and God. Okay.
Whatever.
Blah blah blah. 204. It pisses me off too much. Okay. Hopefully my mute button worked. I'm sorry if it didn't.
In these lawsuits, that a day, from one day to the next, that money is asked for.
Here we go.
15,000 children
Nope, back it up.
could be rescued.
Okay.
Of course, she had a lot of pressure on her because she was managing Tim's schedule and flights and so forth, because she's his executive assistant and communications with the PR firm, etc.
Know that name.
But no, so suppression or depression or that she was trafficked.
Indoctrination is a mofo.
No, absolutely not.
Trafficked. Well, I mean, aren't you kind of trafficked anyway? I mean, that's the training to look like you're.
Yeah.
But when you're out there, you might feel like, well, you're part of this. You're becoming it. So of course, I would say, yeah,
just do there with
I was in a bad situation. Well, yeah, I felt it felt he put me in very dangerous situations. Yeah, that was a dangerous situation.
Yes, and you chose to be there.
And you chose to be there. Didn't they all want to go back? Like every one of them, when it was all said and done and over.
It's called manipulation.
And then when they finally realized they weren't going to be able to be Tim's fake girlfriend anymore.
I don't
Money,
know,
money,
but
money, money.
yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
learning that it's a big temptation. So each of these
Must be a wife.
individuals is asking
Yeah. Yeah. Right here.
for 5 million each. So that's 5 times 6 is 30 million. I'm going to give you some comparative numbers. I hope these
Here we go.
really stick out. Maybe you can
They're
put
not.
this statistic
Out
up
your ass.
or this. I'm going to do the math
How many babies
for
did
everyone.
you really
You can put this up.
legitimately
So
help adopt
the
out?
cost to
and in?
rescue a child is about 2,000, depending on the operation, correct? Depending on the country and the expenses and the type of
Right. If
operation it
it's
is,
a
but it's
freaking
about 2,000.
recession.
So
Shut up.
if you were to divide 30 million, now I know all of that's wouldn't go to the women. I'm not saying they're going to get that money,
But she will.
but that's what
By
they're
the time-
asking for.
That's what they do.
And
They
of
cover
course,
for it.
attorneys take some of it. But that 30 million, we're just taking that figure that they've demanded. And we're dividing that by 2,000. That's 15,000 children. 15,000 children
I can't even
could be
when she
rescued.
even says children. Her lip doesn't even freaking move. She said children.
So each of these individuals is asking for 5 million each. So that's 5 times 6 is 30 million. I'm going to give you some comparative numbers. I hope these really stick out. Maybe you can put this statistic up or this. I'm going to do the math for everyone. You can put this up. So
Stupid.
the cost to rescue a child is about 2,000, depending on the operation, correct? Depending on the country and the expenses and the type of operation it is, but it's about 2,000. So
well, he's making a
if
lot of
you
money.
were to divide
just 1 year.
30 million, now I know all of that's wouldn't go to the women. I'm not saying they're going to get that money,
He ain't listening.
but
Anyway.
that's
In
what
the
they're
comments,
asking
typing
for.
and shit.
And of course,
Yeah.
attorneys take some of it. But that 30 million, we're just taking that figure that they've demanded. And we're dividing that by 2,000. That's 15,000 children. 15,000 children could be children. 1,000. That's 15,000 children. 15,000 children could be rescued with $30 million. And guess where that money's coming from or would come from? Oh, you are. So donors like myself who've donated.
They're suing you. I'm just saying. Dumbass.
Believing rightfully, correctly, that money is going to go to rescues. These women are demanding.
Where was it going this whole time?
To have that.
It's the sizzle.
Money in their pockets.
In your pocket.
As compensation.
Then why don't you denounce your pay? I mean, you're at a quarter of $1,000,000 and you don't do anything but rattle your damn head off and say children really weird. And you say vernacular.
Are the wrongs that have been done to them. But who are the victims here? And this is probably
everybody that you come across.
Probably the biggest point that I want to make. Who are the victims? Who loses?
You don't care about them, remember? Because Visions of Glory, they didn't hang around. Y'all didn't hang around with them people being my family. Okay. And that's where you got me mucked up for somebody else. Wank. You might be able to remote view and you might be able to fly like a damn witch, but you ain't gonna you're not going to disgrace them anymore. You don't give shit
in this situation. They're punishing Tim, they're punishing OUR, but they are punishing these children. 15,000 children
they're being saved. Just consider it a favor. Okay? For all the ones that I can't even wrap my mind around it, how many alleged fake victims or real victims, who knows? Where's the boneyard is what I want to know. Me and my friends. We want to know where the damn boneyard is.
over double the amount of children that have been rescued that OUR has accounted for in 10 years. And in a day, from one day to the next, that money is asked for. I hope that because these women stated in their litigation, in these lawsuits, that they stated, and they stated in the press conference more
Good.
accurately,
I wish you could
that
find kids as much as you can find excuses. That'd be great.
they just wanted to rescue children. I hope that every penny that they get, those who settle or who have settled, and those who are in this litigation, and maybe they'll reconsider and they'll just settle.
Have you ever heard this one? I made you something. I made you some shut the fuck up cakes. There you go. Okay, sorry, I won't do it anymore.
But I hope whatever amount of money they receive, they put that money towards aftercare, rescue, reconnaissance, education, etc.
Buy the biggest roll of duct tape, wrap it around your
benefit
mouth.
children, adoption of children who are in
We'll get
vulnerable
robbed,
countries that are prone to
murder.
trafficking. Because they'll never be made whole. Whatever offenses they feel have been done to them, whatever brokenness or feelings of, in their interpretation, abuse that they feel, that money is never going to.
What about these women that you're like the Ghislaine Maxwell of the Epstein bullshit, if you ask me.
Make them feel whole.
You need a back scratcher?
Not at all. And you look at
Ice
their
water?
faces when they're up there, they're conflicted in
Really?
their minds and in their
Yeah, I
hearts.
don't
I
think
can
so.
see it. I feel it.
What kind of vision? Oh, her eyes are closed. Oh, hell, she's doing a seance right now. I'm just picking. She would need her notebook. Oh, that was a slow.
They know they're not doing the right.
Wow.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I hope others see it too.
Oh, we do.
And I hope people speak out about it if their gut feeling is that this is not right.
I don't know why, but I mean, this is where I have it minute marked, I have a timestamp, but I didn't write what it's for. So I don't remember.
And they're right. It's not right. And I want to break this down too. So
It's not.
15,000 children could be rescued, even if it was 10,000 children.
Shut up.
And that would also translate, that $30 million would also translate to between 1,500 and 3,000 adoption grants. So the program that Catherine, the special project that Catherine initiated.
This is the one that she's a part of. Children Need Families is an organization that's not even an organization. It's never been registered and got a ID number and anything. So where has all that money gone? Where is that? Huh? So sick of it.
And that I was the executive director for
Good job.
And then I switched to strategic alliances, and then there was another executive over Children Need Families. But that special project, Children Need Families, gives grants to families in the adoption process who are adopting from countries where children are vulnerable to trafficking, not trafficked children.
They're vulnerable here.
Who are rescued, but children who are vulnerable to trafficking and who are already in the adoption process. And then we give a grant to them.
Oh my God.
That would.
I don't like these people being anywhere around kids anytime, ever.
Fund up to 3,000 adoptions. And that's not going to happen because that money, if this,
it's in the sizzle, it's in the slave stealer pot. And then old pops or grandpops died, and I guess y'all got to split the kitty. I don't know how that works.
If they get what they're asking, that money would go elsewhere. So
this is what it was. Okay, right there.
Project that Catherine initiated, and that I was the executive director for over.
Says when
and then I switched to strategic alliances, and then there was another executive over Children Need Families. But that special project, Children Need Families, gives grants to families in the adoption process who are adopting from countries where children are vulnerable to trafficking, not trafficked children who are rescued, but children who are vulnerable to trafficking and who are already in the adoption process. And then we give a grant to them that would fund up to 3,000 adoptions.
Mm-mm.
And that's not going to happen because that money,
Yeah, we're gonna do it anyways.
if they get what they're asking,
Right here.
that money would go elsewhere. So
I was
I
like, oh, there she does it. Don't settle.
to trafficking, not trafficked children who are rescued, but children who are vulnerable to trafficking and who are already in the adoption process. And then we give a grant to them that would fund up to 3,000 adoptions. And that's not going to happen because that money,
victims.
if
dare them.
if they get what they're asking, that money would go elsewhere. So I hope and pray that there's a better resolution, a better solution than this exorbitant and unfair demand for money, because it's not restitution money.
It's prostitution. What are you doing?
It's not going to comfort them.
Is it going to comfort
And like
you
I said,
more?
it's not going to.
I think it's going to comfort them more. They're like, yeah, no, we like this money. Thank you. We robbed it, fair and share, fair and whatever.
Make them whole. It's not going to make them happy.
Fair and square.
Well, I don't think it was their idea, but they're going with it.
So this is a conspiracy now. Okay, it's not the victim's idea. They were put up to it.
Well, I don't think it was their idea.
It would be just so hard to believe, to disprove and disbelieve 6 people at least. And I mean, we're talking at least. That's just right now. Then there's some going after Sean Reyes, his bud, his brother. So it's better and easier, and it feels better for them to go along with, 80 people, however many people are just all wrong. The church didn't make the statement. They didn't do this, they didn't do that. They really like the couple shrews. Here's some videos so I can sit here and assassinate their characters even more. Try and shame them publicly, because that's all they have. They don't fight fair. Know that. Jesus card got here by itself. I don't know. Maybe they came and dropped it off remote viewing. Who freaking knows? My back of my head's on fire right now. But I'm saying they don't fight fair. I was sleeping when that Jesus card entered my house. I was sleeping and had my name on. And that's disturbing. Okay? All is not well. Stay the frick off my property. Okay? And don't be raiding my family anymore, assholes. I think we've done enough here. And so this is just 2 people. You have Lori, Chad, Ruby, Jody. That's what I was saying, y'all. That's what I was saying when I was like, what about the rest of them? Because if the church is pumping them out 2 by 2 is what I used to say. 2 by 2, because they're taking part in the second anointing. They are getting anointed, and they are getting by their leaders. And I'm sure, I hope you have in your mind who I have in my mind, as far as who this leadership would have been. And leadership might not be living anymore. Let's just say he died, maybe allegedly, not long ago. And let's just say he's known and has been reported by more than a handful. I'm sure they've already, I'm sure they've already debunked my theory, as do many of, Mormons and even, ex-Mormons and stuff. And some people just don't even know about it. And it's this whole secret ceremony that takes place on a Sunday in a Latter-day Saint temple. It's the second anointing. And what it does is, it is a way for the church, in my opinion, to practice polygamy. They never stopped. It never stopped. they're always speaking out of both sides of their mouths. They're going to preach this, but they're doing it. Whatever they're harping on, they are so in it. Okay. That's just my opinion. I don't want to get killed for it. Okay. Thank you. I see what y'all do with blood, family's blood. You know, it's my family's blood that's spilt for this, not yours. And you're going to damn respect them. That's all I got to say. It is 2 by 2. And so they get exalted. The ceremony, the secrets, it's called oh my God, it's called a second. Oh my God. Okay. It's called a second anointing. Okay. And what they do, actually, I have a damn video on it. I mean, it's just second anointing. I've talked about it a bazillion times, just not lately. Why does it show all? Yeah. Yeah, show all. Let's see. Oh. Well. Hold on.
We ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh.
So unique. The group of gatherers have come together.
Well, brothers and sisters, I'm very happy to be here today.
Thank you, little Brian.
And Thor and Chad and Mike, Jason, gosh, this has been amazing. I've never been to one of these before. And I'm just so glad that I was here. Margie and I looked at each other and said, boy, we're just enjoying this so much.
This is the weekend they got
great.
sealed by
Rapture.
Captain Marone out there.
They think it's the end times. They want it to be the end times because they want to speed it up, get to the rapture. Here's the twist. They
can't be a shitty person. It cut it out because copyright. Yeah, they're not the first.
Well, brothers and sisters,
I'll try and read through this.
Thank you for coming here tonight.
But I would just want you to know that conference just now that Mike Stroud here was talking at, and he said that, you know, he identified Chad, Thor, Jason, Mike, James. Okay. And that's the weekend that in trial testimony, according to Melanie Gibb, who this whole time has said that she's never said anything really. We've all just had to assume that they performed some kind of proxy ceremony or something that, hold on, let me do this or whatever. They had to do some kind of, but thank you, little brands. I want to tell you that. My second comforter, I was like, yeah. You funny girl. Thank you. I like KJ said, Beach Bum said, please. Right? Thank you. I didn't want it to cover the thing just now. But anyways, so I'm gonna have to hide it though because it distracts me. But that's the weekend. That is the weekend in November of 2018 when Lori and Chad were sealed together. That is where the James and Elena story came alive. Chad writes about it. It corroborates. Do you see? Okay, at least this aspect of it. And now Melanie Gibb did place Chad and Lori inside of the temple finally in her trial testimony in Lori's trial. And she said that it was a Friday, which was November the 16th of 2018. But in all actuality, history, reading back on all the other, there's not many second anointing accounts from, I mean, not that from a non-Mormon perspective, never been Mormon and not really, I don't know religious terms. I get lost in the thee, thou, thy. I'm like, what? So just know that. So very layman's over here. And I've been shouting it since 2000, since I got that Jesus card in my living room. That's when I got a Jesus card from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in my living room while I was asleep, alone in my house with my name on it, telling me to call the missionaries. And I was like, no, thank you. Oh my God. I should have reported. I don't know. I don't even know what I did. Nothing but bitch about it for 4 years, 2 years. Anyways, So, but at least it corroborates it finally. But Melanie Gibb she placed them in the temple on November 16th, a Friday, when usually they do these secret ceremonies on a Sunday. Sundays, they don't have temple. What? Sunday, right? Sunday. Everybody goes to church on Sundays. Well, there's a difference. There's a church and then there's a temple. You have to have your temple recommend. Those temple recommends are so important. You had Hector Sosa. I replay the scene of Fun with Dick and Jane whenever the company's going down because of the statistics, and everything's crashing and people are running with ficuses and they're like shredding paper and they're like, they're all crazy. That's what I picture. Because it goes into, what do you call that? Something damage control. And everybody just starts boom, just locking down, scrubbing shit off the internet. I think that's part of why I save so many screenshots, screen recordings, because shit would disappear. It disappears. It goes away until it's either they deem it good enough to, grace us with it again, or whenever, it just never comes back, or we grab snippets of it, because we just so happen to run across something that caught our eye. And it's just 404B was a court, 404B was the evidence, right? In Lori's trial too. And then we were in courtroom 403. And I was like, I passed up the sign that said 404. And I was like, well, that one would have been more appropriate. 404, because everything gets canned and scrubbed and silenced, right? It pisses me off to no end. I know I done went 50 different directions. It's complex. Just know that. It's complex. It's secret. It ain't about, actually, hold on. I'm gonna let him play and I'm gonna go fetch something real quick. It's gonna be helpful.
This is remarkable.
I know,
I've
Mike's
thought
proud,
about
right?
this today, and
Let me just go. Oh,
about to enter a new one called.
Okay, right here. That's one of them.
We're about to end one called "The Day of the Gentile."
The second
We're
coming
about
doesn't
to
mean the
enter a
same
new
thing
one
either.
called "The Day of
Just know that.
Israel."
Israel. Okay.
In the future, you're going to receive something called the fullness of the Melchizedek priesthood. That's a required thing for you to have in order to be one of the 144,000 men. Women can also be a part of the 144,000 and will be. When you receive the fullness of the priesthood, men become kings and high priests, and women become queens and priestesses. And that's about all I can say on that right now. That's what you need to take this to Father and say, what is this fullness of the Melchizedek priesthood? Go into the internet, Google that up, bring it up, do some research.
Google it.
When you feel like you have sufficient knowledge, then go to the Father in the name of his Son and start to inquire and plead.
Now, Mike, right here, he is telling them what to do when they get to that veil, the physical, literal veil. Never been in a temple. I have a good imagination, and I read so much of this shit over the last 4 years. Might not be able to spew it, but I can identify it. And I can be like, hey, right here. I'm like a cadaver dog. But so what he's doing is he's saying, you have to ask the brethren, like, hey, I want to be more special. Can I earn some brownie points? And, they're all like Lori, her personality, extra, right? Look at Chad. He's a brown nosing fool, straight up brown noser. And then looks down on everybody else. I mean, you can just see it play out in the courtroom, which we did not do today, but supply and demand, right? But so what he's saying is inquire and plead. So to obtain and receive. Okay. And so you're going to receive your second comforter. That is the Holy Ghost. That is Jesus Christ in the flesh. Not literally, but enough to make the whole world think you're crazy. And your husband, Charles, who's trying to get help for you. But with the way this language goes, the Mormonese language, I call it, it is so effective at making people look and sound fucking batshit crazy. And it worked in Lori's case. It worked it helped aid them to do what they did. The language all in itself, it's a barrier, not to mention all the tactics of, don't trust anybody outside. Community is everything we got. Family home meetings, they make everybody depend on community to where, it's hard. It's hard for an ex-Mormon to even say, hey, it doesn't happen. They're very still in a group, and I respect all of them. I do. I love them, but it's an aggravating thing because it's another barricade. It's another obstacle. It's another hurdle to jump and try to prove yourself, because they've had to prove themselves for however long their whole lives, most likely. And it's sad. It's sad, and it's so disgusting. So I do believe, and this is my theory, you don't have to agree with it. Just take it for what it's worth. I can't prove it. All I know is that I've read the things, and I'm going to continue. And I have read too many of the same stories over and over and over again, minus the 2 kids and the victims, all the murders. But there's divorces, there are deaths. Okay, there's probably a lot of death. He's got 2 wives before Margie. Okay, where Tom Harris, he had a wife. Mm-hmm. And speaking of Tom Harrison, oh, good old Tom, right? And I'm sure he was good in some era, some years back. I don't see where the same people who are abusing their children, are murdering their children, are murdering their spouses, are doing such heinous, egregious, macabre acts, and you're nothing like them? Are you sure? Do you need to do a little introspection there? We'll wait. We love you no matter what. Oh, it's so frustrating though. But y'all know how I follow Goel. Goel covers the Hamblin case, which goes hand in hand with Ruby Franke and Jody Hildebrandt. That is classic Hamblin, Levitt, Gordon Bowen abuse, allegedly. All I'm saying is I follow Goel. He finally dropped another, I don't know what to call it, because he writes. He writes it as he's investigating this case, which was from Satanic Panic time, and I found something out, and it makes a lot of sense, and it involves Tom Harrison, and he, wrote Chad and Lori's and Tim Ballard's names all in this write-up, and I was like, wow, it's coming together, I'm just saying things you don't want to be right about, but there should be no
to obtain and receive. There is a law in heaven, brothers and sisters.
Okay, no. There's yeah. Okay, yeah, I got so much to show you.
It's an eternal law, almost without exception. Answers to questions are never given unless the question's asked.
Gotta ask.
We need to learn to ask, and ask a lot. You should have a list of questions that you can take in your prayers to Heavenly Father. You let the Spirit
not in heaven
give these. And when you part the veil and you stand in the presence of those persons on the other side, You want to have a list of things to ask them. At that point, when you're there and you say, oh my, I'm here, and you can't remember one thing to ask, you want to be prepared for that, because that's what you're striving to do. So prepare now, ask the questions, have them written out, taken to him now in prayer and in fasting, receive answers through the Holy Spirit, and be prepared also to ask those questions when you see as you're seen and hear as you're heard. Okay? By and large, the day of the
Okay, we're gonna skip.
West area.
Oh yeah.
For
So
those of you.
I think it was planned. I don't think Lori met Chad through his stupid ass books. He couldn't pick up a flea with them books at the flea market.
Why do you think you're here?
Oh, wow.
Unique.
That's what I
A
imagine.
group of gatherers
So
have come together.
special, huh?
Is November 26, 2018, and we are here for our very first podcast.
So her and Chad were already sealed. Just know that. 18th, 1921, 2, 3, 4, 5. 13 days before this. Okay. I think it was November 18th, but the church, the investigators from FBI or whatever that testified in Lori's trial, they gave the date November 16th. And I was like,
Yes, my name is Jay.
I'm sorry. They gave a date November 16th, which was a Friday. And I was like, oh, okay, they're not going to give me Sunday, which would have been the 18th, because they're not open on Sundays. How are they going to explain that away? The church, I mean. So just saying, we only know what they're letting us know.
Jason Mao, and to my left is...
I'm Melanie Gibb.
But bada bing, bada boom. They're spirit wives. That's why Tammy is Lori's fucking eternal.
Melanie is awesome. For those of you that don't know who she is, she has some amazing abilities, amazing
Making
gifts.
kids disappear.
She is what we in the business call a gatherer. And people are naturally attracted to her because
Your name is Richard.
just the light that beams out of her. The first time I saw her, I knew instantly that she was a gatherer, and she's become basically the point person here in the Southwest area for like-minded people to start focusing on greater light and knowledge and learning a lot about themselves and about the Lord and what it is that He wants from us. And so I'm
Googling some
honored to have her to my left.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also with us today is
Lori.
And Lori is so cool.
Hang with me.
Lori and I met in a very, very unique situation. And real quick, Lori, let's talk about that before we start, because people don't even know who you are. Well, people in the know who you are, but one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast is so that we can spread the light of knowledge and help people learn about who they are and find their gifts and draw closer to Christ. And what happened to you was pretty unique, and how we ended up in the same room together is even more unique. So can we start off with that?
We can. It's so fun to be here with Jason and Melanie. I love them so much and grateful for them and all their service that they do. I feel like that I work for the Lord. I feel like I've turned my life to Him from circumstances that have happened to me in my life. And I ask Him who He wants me to meet, who He needs me to go to, and what He wants me to do. And I was sent to the temple on a certain day to get a message from someone, and in walked Jason Mao.
And when I looked at you, when I looked into your eyes for the first time,
I was like, what?
And really saw who you were inside, I instantly knew.
Oh, I know where it's at.
You're one of us. You're a gatherer. You get it. You understand that there's something bigger going on here than just church on Sunday. That this is the end times, and you are awake. You are prepared. You are moving in that direction. And I saw that in just a half a second of that brother and sister connection that we made. And I just knew right away I had to get you in touch with Melanie. and we needed to connect somehow. And so that's how one thing led to another. And then Melanie, you got the idea to start doing a podcast so that we could kind of just spread the good word.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once
I found it. All right.
and I've known Jason for a while now, and
Okay.
meeting Lori, I knew that there was a message that we needed to share. And
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna show it to you. Where's it at? Oh, it's in another tab. What? Okay, I think okay. I've never shared a whole tab, so just bear with me. Lord, thank y'all for just being good sports. Period. Okay, let me just present. Wait, let me stop. Present. Share window. I don't know. I don't know. Oh God, let me know what it's gonna do. This is scary. I don't know how to make all that go away. Okay. I don't even know where's that. Okay. Donna, can you see it? Well, not now. Hold on. Let me do this. And then let me do this.
What?
Can you see it?
I can see Lori Vallow's
Okay.
crimes explained.
Okay. This is a TikTok video. Check it out. Okay. As soon as I know what to do. Okay.
Jesus Christ knows the truth of what happened.
So this is a mind-blowing development in the Chad and Lori Daybell case. So this is them sunbathing the day of their arrest. And this book right here, I'm going to tell you what's inside of that book and how it basically explains everything about this case. So Visions of Glory is a book that has been sold in LDS bookstores. It claims to have a stamp of approval by an apostle. It also claims to be a prophetic book about the last days leading to the second coming of Christ, which is what Lori and Chad believed was happening right now. At one point, the book explains that people will be so ripe with iniquity because they've been overcome by evil spirits, and that the most righteous thing that you can do for them in that state is to, quote, deliver them from mortality. I will play a clip for you now.
Oh my God, it's
There was a
creepy.
law we followed. It was not a rule, but a law. When an individual or group threatened us, we knew their hearts. If there was any hope, even the slightest hope that they could be saved, even in the most celestial sense, we did not harm them. When we were confronted by people who were fully ripe in iniquity and who would never repent, then we were free to deliver them from mortality. Their death would then be a blessing to them. Their death would be a blessing to them because they could no longer add additional iniquity to their divine ledger.
And so there's that. So there's that. Let me stop doing this. Right? I mean, I've got chills again because, yeah. And I mean, there it is. It's just like they are going to find the loophole. And I say they are taught, Mormons are taught to find ways to bend the rules because they have so many things put on them. I'm not blaming you. I'm not at all. I'm blaming your leaders. That's who I blame. That's who is responsible for a lot of the hurt and the pain and the suffering and the abuse and all the things. And it's just, okay. I'm sorry. That's what's going on. It rolls downhill. I mean, and that's what drew my eyes straight up. Straight up to where Source is. Source is church. Source is church. And in my opinion, by way of the late apostle. In my opinion, allegedly, whatever. I think we're past that now, I know, right? It is creepy and it's scary but okay, so they find these loopholes. Why? The purity culture thing where you have to go in as a young adolescent or young adult and tell them whether you have masturbation thoughts. If you have, they're creepy. That creeps me out. You don't need to be telling nobody your shit. You know what I mean? Like, no. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your dog, anybody. But somebody, I feel like it's something that they get off on. And I know that might be just, I don't know. I've become cynical too, KJ. Don't worry. And it sucks. But that's where it brings me time and time again. I try not to. I try to look at it unbiased, and I still will try. I will continue trying because that's what humans do. I'm not exalted as a god. I'm not a goddess. I'm not a warrior. I'm just here. I'm a human, and I'm humaning the best I freaking can. A lot of times it takes a lot of, of self-control or just like, nah, let me not waste my time. That's because that feeds their fuel. I mean, it feeds, yeah, their fire. And then they just come back bigger and hotter. And I'm good. I like chill weather, But it's just so okay. So you have the purity culture thing going on, and they have to find ways of, well, we're not technically having sex, so we're doing the Provo push. We are doing the soaking. We are marinating, right? It's just, and so that it goes into this breeding ground. This type of thinking. Thank you, Jody. Sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey there. Has been a long time. It's been a while. Good to see you. But it's just one aspect. That's just one little glimpse. But when you back up and you look at the big perspective of it, it's all alarms and bells and whistles and flags. Everything is going off because it's not right in all these departments. We can sit here and say, like just now with Janet Russen, when she was talking about, well, but the church, I called the church today. She's got it like that. She just has the brethren on the phone. Don't you know? And don't you know that's why she's doing what she's told? And that is to do, why can't I think of that word? Damage control. Save face. Confuse people. That'll work. It has time and time and time again until we figure it out that it's just a mean narcissistic parent that is turning its children against one another, because there's the scapegoat, there's the golden child, there's all the things. And they send their flying monkeys out. They call them minions, but they say that for us. Whatever, we'll take it. And it's just, it's classic. It's classic gaslighting, classic. I mean, I'm not a professional. I don't know all the words. Y'all know I don't. I try to explain it in the best I can. Yeah, I remember you. Yeah, Janet Russen is on the payroll at OUR. Follow the money. Children and families was never registered. And they deal with freaking adoptions. Adoptions. I don't know about you. I think, now, knowing what I know now, in hindsight, 2020, which is, it's much easier to see everything from this perspective, but it's too late. Cannot breathe life back into these guys back here, or Tammy or Joe. We can't do it. It doesn't work like that. And too little, too late. So I got to do my part. I got to speak up for them, and it's got to help. We don't know if somebody brought that to my attention one time, that what if R and E Frankie, what if they saw Tylee and JJ's missing posters and all the things about it in between watching all that porn. Being very sarcastic. And so we learned yesterday that R tried to run away once before or twice before. I don't remember. And Blaze. Yeah. It's working. But oh my God. Yeah, I just got chills. Like, it gives It gives their deaths purpose, their lives purpose. Their deaths aren't in vain. It is paying it forward in a way. They paid for it with their lives, but yeah, I hope. So they're the beacons, you know. I forget what the other day in KJ's live stream, starts with a J. I saw them earlier. Looking. Jet Set J said the best thing, but I can't remember it right now, and I can't find it. But I don't know. It's nuts. I don't trust the adoption thing. I feel like Lori, knowing what I know now, I look back, and especially knowing that she was going to adopt, her and Charles were trying physically, like literally trying to adopt JJ's half sister, who is still alive today, probably because Lori did not adopt Mandy's other baby. I mean, there would have been three graves in the backyard, and she's half black, so I'm sure, well, yeah, she was gonna name her Tabitha. I mean, that I remember like yesterday, but I don't remember why it didn't go through. I don't remember. I'm just glad that it didn't. Big time. Yeah, that's so calling. For sure she's alive because Lori didn't adopt her, right? I mean, even being Mandy, like in Mandy's position, Mandy was JJ's real mother. And can you imagine, she died in 2022. Yeah, June of 2022. And knowing, and she was very, she forgave them. Mandy would always, she was a good person, she just had a problem with drugs. I mean, it doesn't make them bad people. In fact, just their grace and everything has shown me so much, I mean, to truly forgive someone I'm picturing this from my brother and Mandy's position. Your baby's born, both your first, your only, and then you because of the choices you made, you lose your son to adopt, through adoption, but within the family. So that's kind of weird too. That's kind of hard too, if you picture that, because you're going to hear about the baby more. You're going to see pictures of the baby. Your mom is still an active grandparent for the baby. I mean, it's just heart-wrenching. Anyways, I have a lot of respect for my brother and for Mandy when she was alive. I mean, they're good people. They just weren't good for each other. They were toxic. Best thing that came out of that relationship was JJ. And he fought coming into this world, and I know that he fought going out, because we're fighters. That's what we do. We don't give up. So it would take somebody like them to do that. It's just wrong. But anyways, I just feel it's just such a sad situation all the way around, no matter how you look at it. No matter if people get 80 lifetime sentences, or none, or whatever. It never remedies the hole that's left there, Nothing about this is easy. But they're worth it. And so I didn't get to be an aunt. I didn't get to play that role. I didn't get to feel that role. That when Lori and Charles adopted JJ, we didn't have a discussion either, about, well, am I still going to be the aunt? Or, we didn't do all that. And they lived far away. I lived over here. I had 2 little kids. I mean, I beat myself up about that, but I know. I get it. But I don't know. It just sucks. You just never expect it to end up like this. Ever. Ever. It's, my uncle said it, nonsensical. I think that's the best way to put it. Nonsensical. None of it makes sense. He paid a church that, I saw a receipt. I have a receipt. $12,000. Half a year, just for him. I don't know somebody who's been Mormon or knows. Thank you, Beach Bum. Yeah. I'm trying. S.L. Connolly. I'm trying. I try. It just seemed like JJ's adoption was that void that Lori was trying to fill. Like, okay, well, Colby, I kind of messed that up. And then Tylee, I just want her because I don't want her dad to want, to have her. But I'll be damned. She's not going to lose, right? And then new relationship. And instead of working on herself, on loving herself or something, I'm just assuming, hey, let's get a new bag, let's go get the latest designer bag and designer glasses. No, let's go get the latest, adopt a kid with special needs. So then this is something that you'll see. I saw it in Coco Berthman. You see it in Tim Ballard. You see it in those people. Those projectors. I see it perfectly clear. So what they do is they adopt your story. They want to know everything about you, everything about it. They learn, they watch, they trust me, they pray, but it's not Pray, they Prey. They prey on you. They suck the life out of you. Slowly but surely, they infiltrate. In Tim's words. Infiltrate. However stupid ass says it. And they slowly suck it out of you until you're depleted, and then they leave you. You're just you're a zombie. You're a carcass because they've gotten what they need from you. And then they take on that persona, and with their good qualities and skills that they do pick up being in this religion that's so micromanaged, right? That's why I think a lot of people are so organized and time management. I'm just like, what? I'm like still over here lacing up my shoes. I'm like, what the hell? Hey, call me lazy, whatever. I'm just slower than you. But I don't even know where I was going with that. Anyways. Oh, and they suck they're vampires, spiritual vampires. Yes. And so they adopt your story, your persona, your everything they take your victimization. They become a victim just by adopting your story. Okay. They done sucked everything out of you. They've depleted your everything. And then they've carried that on, and then they use your story. You see it. I know you do. And they adapt it, and then people are like, oh, because we are emotional beings. I don't care how many people are like, facts. Well, let me tell you, they need to be in line with all the other little systems we got going on, because God made us the way we are, and just whatever. I don't feel like getting into that conversation, but we don't know why. We don't, and we really don't. That's a true story. We don't know. Have no idea. I don't care if you've had a near-death experience, a whole death experience, a quarter of a death experience. I have one at least twice a day when Jason scares me. Okay, I literally detach. I think so. Yeah, or if it lightnings and thunder's real loud, I detach. It's called trauma, and we're being traumatized, whether it be firsthand, secondary, and so on. Just following true crime. I didn't know all this. I didn't know all this at all. It's traumatizing. Well, here we go. But, and then it's all in the media. Anyways, that's a whole other rabbit hole. Whole other rabbit hole. My grandmother built a church with what money she gave. My mama, straight, you just brought this up for me. Thank you. Because I was going to, me and my first husband, I've been married twice, divorced twice, still divorced. Oh my God, my daughter will be, I count on my fingers, 4 days, she'll be 18. Oh my God. Oh, anyways, she graduates too this year. She's my baby. My baby. Like, I need some babies now. I don't want to adopt any. Thank you. Oh man. My grandmother built a church. Yeah. My mama too. Whenever me and my high school sweetheart, we were together, I don't know how many years, total 7. We were married for 4. And we were looking, to get married in Catholic church, whatever. I don't know. Rant, and he was not Catholic, he just was whatever. And I had done everything but my confirmation. And so we priced, we called the big church here, and they were like $500. And I was like, oh my God, my 20-year-old brain was like, no. I know. My house note was $178. Okay. That was the good old days. Anywho. And my mom was like, oh, hell no. She was like, this is 2 of my grandkids. They done turned away. And I'm like, well, they didn't really turn me away. But she was like, And my grandfather's name is engraved in, you walk into the big church and it's right there. He helped build the church too. So him, my grandparents and your grandparents sitting by the fire. I'm just picking, I couldn't help it. I didn't know where that was going. Sorry. Oh. So this today, y'all, has been Entertain Crush a Day, and I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The scariest beast preys on their offspring, siblings, partners, those closest to them, those that they love. Truly criminal trauma spreading beast. Yeah. And to some degree, it's like they get off on that too. Whether it's through the news media. I mean, look, you got this whole story going on right here. I'm not going to be long. I'm just going to show it to you. But I mean, boom. And I mean, so Janet Russen comes out on a podcast. And then, so now they're reporting it at Salt Lake Tribune. She's a member of the church. Okay. Just know that. Psychic who aided Tim Ballard says she never spoke to Book of Mormon prophet Nephi. Bet your ass. When she called the church yesterday, they were like, all right, girl, run that. We're depending on you. Okay. Okay. So we didn't hear what we heard. All right. We're Mandela effect over here. Not today, Satan. Not today. Nope. That dog's not going to hunt. We heard it with our own ears. Janet Russen scribbling in her little scribble pad, scrying during a seance. What do y'all think they're doing in temples? Whether you believe in mystical things or not, It ain't no good. I don't pray that way. There's a song. Anyways, all right. I hope you guys are all doing okay. And I hope y'all take care of yourselves when we end this. And just let's do that. Let's do that for each other as a gift. Okay? That's all I want for Christmas is for you to be okay. Tainted Love. It's awesome, man. If I could actually play songs just from anywhere, holy, this would have turned out so different. This whole channel. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sister Rosetta. Huh? We have somebody named Sister Rosetta? Or are you saying Rosetta Stone? What? Look, my hair's been crazy. All right. Patty cake and the dimples. Oh my God. Thank you. I needed that. It was a good little goofy giggle. I love puns and I love just corny stuff. I love you guys. Oh my God. We have a Nightbot. Where'd that come from? Oh my God. Yay. We have a Nightbot. My ear started ringing. Oh, thank you, mods. The God Mod Squad. Peace. Oh, yeah. We just have lots to talk about. I know we won't be here Sunday, though, because it is Christmas Eve. And I'm a encourage the mods to have a life, outside of me. Or, outside of Crusher World over here. And I love you guys. All of you. Oh, I feel like I might want to do a breakthrough though. I don't know. We'll just play by ear, but I'm not scheduled for Sunday. I am scheduled for Thursday. So we have one more. We do have one more. Yay. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you next time. Justice for Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe Ryan. Love always wins. You guys are proof of it. Merry